Choctaw County, and welcome into the Monday edition of SunTV. I'm Clint Franks. With me is my trusty sidekick, Deanne Campbell.
Hello, Clint.
Good to see you. Great, beautiful Monday morning. It's glad to be here.
I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous. Perfect weather. We could only hope that it would stay this way, but I feel like as much as we've complained about the cold and the rain and all, we're about to see otherwise.
We're going to get warm this week, the warmest weather we've seen so far this year.
I'm not opposed to it.
Not opposed at all.
Welcome in the sunshine.
Got some information on Praise Fest over the weekend.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Praise Fest. This was the 5th annual Praise Fest held in Gilbertown. It was a big concert on Saturday. Drew about 300 people to the Sportsplex, the amphitheater at the Sportsplex. If y'all have never been there to that amphitheater, the way it's set up, it is a very nice facility. I had about 300 people at the Praise Fest. A very good time with some local talent, inspirational message from a local youth leader, and a couple of big name artists. L3, the local group L3, opened the show. Those are local, I call them kids, but they're really young adults. And they put on a really good performance and started the show, got the people ready for the rest of the show. Then we had an inspirational message from one of our local guys, Kohls. He's a South Choctaw graduate. He's a youth leader. I think he's over at Heritage.
Yeah.
And he gave a very inspirational message, and they had actually after that message, they had a time of prayer and had some people who came down for prayer. It was a very moving experience to hear Colton and what he had to say. After that, starting the major lineup for the evening was Johnny Diaz, and if you've not heard him, you may be familiar with at least one of his songs. He's the one that does the Chick-fil-A song.
Okay.
It's a spoof on Chick-fil-A, and it's very funny. He's a very entertaining person, and he also sort of raised a few eyebrows with a song about his wife and talking about her addiction to shoes and throw pillows.
Sure.
Does your wife have throw pillows on the bed?
No.
No.
Actually, no.
Apparently, Johnny Diaz's wife has like 19 throw pillows, and he's giving her a hard time about it, and actually wrote a song to give her a hard time about it.
Be careful.
Yeah, that's right. I have to admit, I have throw pillows. There's a reason they're called throw pillows, because your husband throws them off the bed. You know, some people see no need for throw pillows, but I think they're decorative and cute. But that's a woman thing.
I wouldn't open my mouth if she brought them home. So.
Well, following Johnny Diaz was the headline event, Love and the Outcome. And I'm going to tell you something. Those people brought down the house. Husband and wife team. If you've not heard them, they're on K-Love and other contemporary Christian radio stations. And I saw something at that concert with that group that I've never seen before. She played the keyboard and the drums at the same time. It was pretty amazing. See, women can multitask.
Yeah. So I've been told.
We're made that way. I don't know that men are as good at that as we are, but we can multitask.
No, absolutely not.
But they put on a really good performance. The people who were there, I know, left there feeling like they had been it was worth their money to go. We want to thank Mark Roberts and the Praise Fest Committee for putting on that concert every year and for continuing to bring good artists to the Gilbertown area. If y'all have not attended one so far, when it rolls around next year, I'm assuming they'll have one next year, you should go. It's quite an experience and something great for Choctaw County to have. So what's going on in the world of sports?
In the world of sports, and we do have plenty to talk about in the world of sports. I'll start with baseball. South Choctaw and Patrician, they have advanced to the semifinal rounds of the AISA baseball tournament. Both teams, let's see here, make sure I get this right. South Choctaw, let me just back up just a little bit. South Choctaw won in dramatic fashion the other day. They knocked off Coosa Valley in a deciding game 3. You know anything about high school baseball? They play seven innings. Well, SCA was down 3-2, bottom of the ninth, and Cortland Frost rips off a 2 RBI single to drive in the 2 winning runs. So they will face Macon East at 4 o'clock Wednesday in Montgomery. Patrician, they won their games. Let's see, they won 10-1 and 14-5 over Abbeville. So they will play Eastwood at 4 o'clock in Montgomery. Best 2 out of 3 on those. On the girls' side, both of those squads, Patrician and South Choctaw, they're locked into Montgomery. They will play on Friday. Both teams will play at 12. So you're down to the nitty gritty now. And basically softball is going to be double elimination. You want to stay out of that losers bracket. You win, you advance. You lose too, and they can both play. They can both play Saturday for championships. They can both,
this comes as really no surprise.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
And at this far along, because we saw this coming, and those teams have been good from the get-go. We've seen them progressively get better over the season.
They have, and in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, I work 2 local teams, Southern Choctaw and Choctaw County. They will play in the area tournament down at over at Leroy. One of those teams, either Southern Choctaw or Choctaw County, will advance to play in the regionals in Gulf Shores next week. Now back to AISA baseball. If they win, if the Rebels and the Saints, if they were to win, they would play next Tuesday at Patterson Field in Montgomery for the state championship.
So we have a shot at probably multiple champions.
We have a shot at 4.
That's good. That's
really 4
good.
For right now, as many as 5.
I would be willing to put a little wager that would bring home at least 1 trophy.
I hope so. I really do. I wish those teams would.
Yeah.
A lot of good girls, a lot of good guys out there.
That's right.
Great coaches, great support staff.
Impressive players.
They do. A lot of great young men, young ladies, and I wish them all a ton of. Folks, give me something to write about. I hope to have tons of championship photos.
Yeah. Well, we will be there with bells on.
You better believe. Yes, absolutely.
We're going to pause for just a second for a word from one of our sponsors, Kohls Barber College.
If you've been looking for a way to turn your job or future into a career, the answer is here. Kohls Barber College is now accepting new students. You will learn hands-on barbering skills in 12 months and get prepared to pass the state board exam to become a licensed professional. Students will be taught the fundamentals for landing promising jobs and business ownership. Day and night classes are available to fit your schedule. Stop by today for more information or to get registered. Don't just keep wishing. Start your future today.
Relay for Life is coming up this week.
Absolutely, a great program. A lot of involvement around here, and we all know what Relay for Life does. So.
That's right. Relay for Life, the actual relay, is this Friday evening, Zach Rogers Park, starting at 6 o'clock with the Survivors Lab. And speaking of survivors, we had this past Friday the Survivors Dinner. They annually treat the survivors and their families to a night where they honor them and celebrate their survival. That was held this Friday night at the Civic Center this past Friday to kick off what will be the real Relay for Life that will come up on Friday night. So if y'all have no other plans on Friday night, or even if you do, put them aside and come out and support those teams that have worked so hard to raise money for American Cancer Society. And we will be there as well.
Right.
So right now we are going to break again for word from one of our new sponsors, Red Barn Poultry and Farm Supply near Meridian. Let's see what they have to offer.
Spring has sprung, and if you're looking to spruce up your yard or home for the season, you can find everything you need at Red Barn Poultry and Farm Supply. From gorgeous hanging baskets to beautiful ferns to a large variety of flowering plants, Charlie Dennison can provide you with everything you need to create a beautiful yard this season, and he can give you advice about which plants you should choose and how to care for them as well. Located on Highway 19 South near Meridian, Red Barn has a wide selection of quality feed and supplies for your livestock and pets, including top quality products that you may not be able to find in other stores. He carries a top line of supplies from Alabama Farmers Cooperative and has a huge selection to choose from. Go see Charlie Dennison at Red Barn Poultry and Farm Supply. Look for the Big Red Fireworks store and tell them the Sun sent you.
Another thing that's coming up, Clint, is the June 5th primary.
Right.
Talk of the town. Getting closer and closer to the day whenever we'll cast our ballots. This week in the paper, we'll have sample ballots that'll show you exactly who you'll have to choose from when you pick up those ballots on June the 5th. And we encourage everybody to go out and cast a ballot. If you don't vote, you can't complain about it afterwards.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Yeah, and we do have those people who choose to complain, but if you don't go vote, you don't have that right and that opportunity to voice your angst whenever things don't turn out your way. So go to the polls, and remember, you have to choose between a Democratic or Republican ballot. This is the primary. So that may sound simplistic, but we're reminding people of that because sometimes it's a little bit confusing as to which election is which. But these are the primaries. The winners of those primaries will go on to face each other in November in the general election, and they will both be on the same ballot at that point, along with any other independent candidate who might qualify. And if you are so inclined and you want to qualify as an independent candidate for a race locally, then you have to do that by June 5th primary. The reason for that is that Alabama has what they call a sore loser law. That's so that it's somebody who loses, who is on the ballot as a qualified candidate in either the Democratic or Republican primaries, they can't turn around and run again as an independent after they lose. So it's not a bad idea.
And speaking of things coming up, got a big date on something else Friday that we need to tell our viewers about. And that's the graduation section of the Choctaw Sun that'll be coming up very soon.
That's right. We encourage you to get your graduation ads in this week. We're putting together our annual section, which is always really our largest section of the year, to congratulate all the local graduates from kindergarten, 6th grade, up to seniors and college grads. They'll be in the paper on the 16th. So get your graduation ads in to congratulate those folks in your family or your friends who are walking across a stage to get their diplomas this year.
Something I want to add real quick. We just learned that 4 athletes down at Millry High School, they have advanced to the state championship in track and field. So congratulations to those young men and women down at Millry.
We'll also have some information in this week's paper about Patrician Academy's track team
Right.
and some honors that they've received. They have a good track team usually.
They always do, yeah.
AISA. So, and what else is going on, Clint, in the world? In the world outside?
In the world outside, just paying attention to what's going on over in North and South Korea.
Yeah.
Very, very historical things been
That's right.
going on over there. So
Well, we're sort of waiting to see, actually, whether or not this actually comes to pass as we hope it does. You know, the guy over there, he tends to not follow through sometimes with what he says, or he plays games.
But if he were to,
this is very historic and very long time coming. And we're proud to see it and proud of the administration and the part that they played in that deal, which I understand was a pretty substantial part in bringing North and South Korea together. And we'll see what happens after that. We're going to hold our breath to see if that comes to pass. That could be the answer to what could potentially have been one of the biggest threats that we've ever seen in this country.
absolutely. Just some very interesting times.
That's right.
Just stay abreast.
That's right. Well, that's our show for today, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday. Thank you for watching.